Welcome to Midlife Unlimited Live for Five. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I am delighted to be joined today by my episode 15, how did that happen, guest? The wonderful Gemma Junyent-King, the movement Maestra, to give a taste of our episode, How to Find Your Flow in Midlife. So welcome, Gemma.
Welcome. I'm delighted to be here. I think we all are. In your podcast, it's so wonderful.
Now, I love our episode because, to be blunt, midlife, it's a time for, when it comes to movement, use it or lose it. And I know you're an ambassador of finding what works for us, aren't you?
I'm just actually drafting a post about our feet. Just even if we are not very active or very mobile, there's something that we can do with our feet when we sit, when we stand, maybe just curl, open, just activating the circuit, just not related to fitness, but related to well-being. Because if we do not help the blood come back to our heart through actually movement or through breathing or combined, then it's harder for the heart to get the blood back.
Mm. I love that because I won't give too many spoilers because this is a taste of our full-length episode that's available now wherever you listen to your podcasts. But it is all about celebrating what you can do and
Exactly.
finding, because your old regime may not feel right anymore. And sometimes trying new things can be daunting. So you share lots of great insights and tips about finding what works for you now.
Yes, I think that relates to midlife as well, because in midlife, it's not just about movement, but there are foods that do not agree with us anymore, um, or people that we don't like
Yeah.
anymore, or so we have to evolve. And what used to be good for us, I used to love jumping. I still do. Sometimes I still leap, but it's less intense. So what can I do instead? And I think it's having that shift of adapting and using what we can do, but not as a punishment. Not I emphasize on that. That was one of my main tips. No
Mm.
pain, no gain. That's not working. The leaving the comfort zone, which sometimes can be, yes, scary or unknown. Well, with movement, you need to know what you're doing at our age. So I would not recommend someone just do it, just move for the fucking sake of it. Well,
Yeah.
no, just digest first, connect with your body, which was one of my tips, and then love what is it that you do. And if you cannot jump, maybe you can just do some heel lifts, you can do some leg curls, you can do things on a chair that I would not choose it as a preferred choice, but I'm actually utilizing it more because, well, in my case, it's the floor, but that's what I recommend to people. If you are sat at a chair, there's still things that you can do instead of having to go to the gym and then spending time logistically or getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's dark, just to do something that is just rubbing you against.
Yeah. No, as you
And
said, it's all about finding the joy in the movement, isn't
exactly.
it? And finding what works for you. And as well as lots of tips that I say, you've got to tune in. It's the toilet comes into it as well, which is
Yes,
great.
yes.
Tune in to find out more about that. And before I forget, all Gemma's contact details and mine as well are in the show notes for the episode and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast. Um, but before you go as well, I wanted to mention, because it's not all about fitness, our episode. You're actually very raw and real, talking about your own journey and overcoming so many different hurdles from moving from Spain to the UK. So I think there are some amazing golden nuggets there. And I think you said you found the conversation we had quite an enjoyable one. Lots of
Cathartic.
questions.
I just say cathartic. I
Yeah.
think it was enjoyable, number one, but it was cathartic. And if I can just add, that was one of my highlights of re-listening to the episode, the importance of having someone that you trust, that asks you meaningful questions, but also is listening actively listening, and that's something that you do. And
Mm.
because not just because you look in a certain way, it's just because you reflect back. We notice that I notice that with all of your participants, you do hear them, you do listen to them, and then I think that that's what makes the podcast in itself more valuable. But as a guest, that's is cathartic. I just found it very, very cathartic. I'm not sure about all the other guests,
Oh,
but
that's wonderful to hear, because that just epitomizes what Midlife Unlimited is all about. It's about having those conversations, letting the listeners and viewers know you're not alone. We're all in this together. So, if you like the sound of our episode, you can join me and Gemma. Tune in wherever you listen to your podcasts and connect with us. The links are in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me today, Gemma. It's always a pleasure. Take
love it.
care. Talk to you soon. Here's to living midlife unlimited. Bye.
Bye.